Hello and welcome to BW Hotwires. Today we have with us Mr. Akilur Rahman, CTO of Hitachi ABB Power Grids India. Thank you, Mr. Rahman, for sparing your time for BW Business World. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you, Mr. Banerjee. It's good to be here talking to you, and also a very important, very interesting subject of electric mobility.
Yes.
Glad to be here.
So, how big are you betting on the government's e-mobility mission? And what is the future of mobility when it comes to, personal vehicles and commercial vehicles? Can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, very bullish on that. I would say we are very bullish because of several factors. I think this e-mobility technology point of view, it is there. A lot of discussion were happening in the government level earlier. But what we see now, after this budget announcement, and also we talked about, how people are moving more towards carbon neutral future and all. I think this is going to take a big I would say, push from everybody, all the stakeholders, and we are sure that it is going to be, coming soon. Especially some areas of the cities, and also some areas, and also on the rail side, not only the electrification of the railways, but also, let's say, battery operated trains, wherever you don't have the overhead lines and all. I think these are the things which we already have the technology. Like we have technologies for the fleet charging. We have battery operated trains where we can charge the trains, and also the flash I talked about. I think together, definitely.
How do these developments, if I say, motivate you? And are these baby steps towards 100% e-mobility in the country?
Yeah. So these are very good steps towards electric mobility. So one thing which is very, very important is also the power system. The power grid also has to be ready to adapt to that. So the grid has to actually be managed dynamically. With one is that availability of power, energy. And if you see towards the grid side also, grid is also getting transformed. You have not only the fossil fuel, the conventional, traditional power, but also a lot of renewables coming in. And also a new form of energy. We are talking about green hydrogen. We are talking about storage, energy storage, solar, wind, hydropower. So all those, and also distributed generation. So they are connected to the grid. So on one hand, grid is getting transformed with all these different, we call it, different inertia of these power generation, which can actually cause problem in the grid if not managed properly in a dynamic way. On the other hand, you have this electric vehicles coming with fast charging, ultra fast charging, flash charging. So this actually the integration of these two things, the grid and the electric vehicle infrastructure, charging infrastructure, they have to be designed properly, they have to be expanded, they have to be modernized in terms of automation, in terms of control, in terms of also digitalization. So how do you, and also the entire I would say the chain of the electric vehicle charging, the grid management, they have to also digitalized. We have a lot of contracts also. We are talking about prosumers in the grid. So basically the consumers of energy, they can also store energy and supply to the grid. When we are talking about, let's say, some vehicles, they can also, when they are charged but they are not being used for a couple of days, they can also feed it back to the grid, and they can get get paid for that energy. So they are prosumers. They are not only consuming, they are also producing. I think with this, the entire ecosystem has to be designed, simulated. So we do a lot of simulation of this electrical network along with the transport mobility. So we do the software simulation of the entire vehicle fleet, how they are going to move inside the city or in the space. At the same time, how they are going to take draw power from the grid, for the charging, and the grid, how it is going to manage. In addition to the vehicles, also grid has to manage the other loads, the industrial, the utility loads. So they have to be planned together. I think we as Hitachi ABB Power, we are in a unique position, having coming from both the sides, to ensure that how the entire system will be stable, reliable, and also predictable.
So you mentioned about multiple charging solutions to EVs. So are they only catering to the bus segment, or you're open to cater to the PV segment, also to the mini truck segment and other segment, or three-wheeler segment? Your thoughts?
Okay, so we have been basically pioneer in very complex, big technology systems. So that is how we come there. So what we bring in is, if you have large fleet of the vehicles, they have to be charged. So let's say above 50 kilowatts of charging. So we bring those technology where you can have large number of vehicles. They can be charged. They can be bus. They can be also other type of vehicles. It can be 4-wheeler, 3-wheeler, but bringing from the infrastructure point of view. Although we know that there are also requirements of small charging stations, in other parts of the city. Let's say in some areas where small charging station. So there, what we do is we can effectively integrate those chargers in the system, and also have the large bulk charging, fleet charging, and that kind of solution what we bring in. So it's a on one hand, we have the core technology of the large fast charging technology, and at the same time integrate all the small chargers, which are placed distributed. I think in India we are we have engaged with several partners. For example, Ashok Leyland, we have partnered with them. They will bring the bus with the onboard charging system, where we also provide our interface. At the same time, we bring in the charging, the bus charging in terms of terminal charging, depot charging, as well as the flash charging. We call it opportunity charging. So that way, we are also now coming up with a pilot, which is IIT Madras campus. Inside that, we'll have this bus, which will be running with this technology. And there are several, the RFPs, RFQs we are seeing, where we are, partnering with several companies to bring in this technology, and I think pilot as well as do it in a commercial scale. Of course, globally we have done that in several places, in France, in Switzerland, in Australia, in Italy. But in India, I think it's all about how the market is going to shape up now in terms of large bulk fleet charging, and also, as you talked about, how Calcutta city is coming up with, and also Delhi.
Can you talk about the investments that you're making for building these charging solutions? And have you set any target that you will have 100 charging stations in these very cities? And if yes, if you can put a timeline for that.
Okay. So we are a global company. We work in a mode where we have distributed development, manufacturing, and then we are ready to cater to the market when some market is developing, needs some scalable. So what we do is we have global locations where the center of excellence in Switzerland, in Italy, in China, in India also we are now developing. So where, depending on how the market is moving, how it is scaling up, we also parallelly, we do concurrent engineering. Parallelly, we also set up the local manufacturing of the chargers, the ancillaries of the charger, the accessories, the installation, and also basically having the software, SCADA, the software interfaces which are available. So that way we will be able to actually react and also cater to the market wherever it is, by pulling in the resources, competency, manufacturing, R&D from different center of excellences of us. So for us, it's like global kind of supply chain, I would say, towards
our Prime Minister is talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, wherein he is talking about India being self-reliant. How are you aligned with the PM's vision?
We are almost ready. I think it's, as I said, the moment we have some, the market requirement coming from India, so we can do it locally here. And we are also planning that in future, we will a lot of equipment manufacturing also we will do. It's all about the business, the numbers, how bring in, the business, and then we can, do it locally here.
What is the business roadmap that you have prepared to scale up your business and also to serve the nation and to contribute to e-mobility? Can you shed some light on that?
Okay, so what I talked about, we already have started engaging with OEMs. For example, the Ashok Leyland is one of the OEMs, so we have engaged with them how they can manufacture bus, which can actually adapt the technologies of electric bus charging, whether it's depot charging. Depot charging, when I say, it's like few hours of charging, 4, 5 hours, 8 hours overnight charging. Then terminal charging, where it is 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of charging, where it is stopping in a terminal, or maybe flash charging, where it is 20 second or 30 second. So that we have brought in. Then we have the second step was that, okay, looking at some pilot. So we said, okay, let's collaborate with IIT Madras, the campus where they have bus. They also have intent to make it green. So then we are working on this pilot. And also we are now working with several other owners, operators of this kind of charging electric vehicle operation systems, and we will contribute with our technology, with our solution, with our software, hardware, and then of course the business model, how it is going to work with the owner operators of this. So that way, I think we are ready to scale up as the market moves. Yeah. And then we are very bullish on that.
So, what is the future of e-mobility post-COVID, and how do you see things panning out in the future? Your thoughts?
Yeah. Pre-COVID as well as during COVID, pandemic, there has been a lot of deliberations, discussion, and also initiatives by different stakeholders with solutions, with the technologies. And what I see is post-COVID, I think with all this government announcement is going to really, getting accelerated. Very important is that how we can bring in diverse technologies into this space. Whether you talk about AC charging, AC-DC, DC-DC charging, then you have the fast charging, then you have the fast charging, ultra-fast charging, you have the bus charging, you have the four-wheeler charging, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, and you have also concepts of swappable battery charging, for example. So all these technologies, how they are going to coexist in the system, that's going to be very important. And that is how we can actually realize the vision of the government and also the state government, what they're thinking about, doing a large scale complete revamp or maybe complete replacement of the fossil fuel vehicles with the electric vehicles. And with all these technologies getting integrated, the core technologies of electric vehicle, the charging technology, and also the automation around it, IoT of the electric vehicles, and control and integrating with the grid and ensuring that grid is also expanded, modernized to cater to this kind of load as they evolve. And it can evolve very fast. For example, the electric vehicle, I'm seeing that it's with all these in place, it can really move fast. So then the grid has to be ready for that. With the automation, with the primary solution, with the control, optimization, with IoT, with digitalization, and also including the business model. So bringing all these technologies, business models, approaches, and also applications is a key. And there I would say that we should definitely work on a collaborative model, including the policymakers, to make it happen, run, create some pilots, prove it, and then, scale it.
Thank you, Mr. Rahman, for talking to BW Business World. It was an honor interacting with you. We wish you all the best in your mission and your vision. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Banerjee. It was very interesting discussion. Questions which is triggering how we can actually develop our approach and model towards the market, and also how the entire ecosystem is going to come up. And I think at the end of the day, it's all about collaborating with several stakeholders, including the policymakers, government, to make it happen. And I'm very positive about it that with the recent government announcements, and also a lot of state governments now coming up with their plan to change the entire transport system to electric. That's a very good sign, and I'm sure it is going to be successful soon. Yeah.